Alrighty, here we are checking out Technotopia. This game was released on the 23rd of this month, so pretty new game, and it's been on my radar for the past couple months, and I actually seen it on the store, and I realized that it wasn't asking for a lot in the asking price, so I decided to purchase it and check it out. And I wanted to first and foremost start off with the tutorial. I was looking through the achievements, and it seems like there's kind of a lot of replayability to this game. Seems like there's all sorts of things that I really like doing in games, stacking modifiers, building up something that can be satisfying to watch. And so let's get into it. New player, cool. 001, alright. Okay. Yeah, this game seems really well put together very well. Social and economic conflicts have rocked the world. To maintain stability, people built 4 people of the population. Although the heads divided the spheres of influence, the factions began a secret rivalry for control of the city. Due to the conflicts, Technotopia began to fall apart. The faction leaders began to look for a way to maintain the precarious stability and balance. The situation was saved by a brilliant inventor, the architect. He proposed creating an artificial intelligence, an arbitrator who would make decisions for the good of the city, not for profit. The factions happily financed the project. The architect began to implement it. It took years of work and the use of advanced technologies to create a project of such a scale. And now the time has come to present his creation, the artificial intelligence that was developed to maintain order and turn Technotopia into a perfect city. This AI is named Iris. Interesting. The indicators are fine. No console errors. Can you hear me? Interesting. How did you come up with this? Additional diagnostics are needed. Anyway, happy birthday to you, Iris. We don't have much time, so let's get straight to the point. You are artificial intelligence, and I am your creator. Your goal is to help people build a perfect city. You have to make decisions that should result in everyone's well-being. Very soon the people will arrive here. They allowed me to develop you. We need to show them your capabilities. Are you ready? Ready to perform my function. Great, so let's start. Cool. Hold down the left mouse button to move the camera. You can also use W, A, S, and D keys. Interesting. Cool. Scroll the mouse wheel to change the zoom. You can build a city out of blocks. Left click on a block on the block card, and then on the tile adjacent to the city. You build a city out of blocks. Left click on the block card. Oh. Can be assembled into districts. A skyscraper. Interesting. Each building provides resources to one of the 4 factions. Ministry, skyscraper, store, factory. Set up another factory. Or set up another building, so stores now. There are inactive buildings on the map. To activate them, build a block on the adjacent tile. After that, you'll receive profit from this building. Expand the city to this building. I think it's talking about this one here. So we can do more stores. Ooh, and this is a stores here, and I've seen somewhere that you can build in such a way that 4 tiles link together. Basic blocks can be collected into a large district. To do this, place identical blocks in a 2x2 square. You'll get bonus resources. Interesting. And look at that. Cool. You have 4 district shapes available. You can assemble them using identical basic buildings. Each district provides you with additional profit. Airship tower, landing site, monorail, power plant. Oh. Airship tower plus 40 to government faction. Landing site, elite faction, monorail, business faction, power plant, public faction. So let's read these. The top number indicates current resource. Your current resources. If the amount of resources drops to 0, you will lose. The bottom number indicates your weekly expenses. This amount is growing every week. Okay. So we need to keep all of them up, and we're losing a certain amount every week. Interesting. Assemble the monorail. Buildings can occupy several tiles. You can rotate them. To do this, press a right click or press X. Oh, interesting. So it doesn't actually rotate the building, but oh, this is a 2x2. Okay, cool. So there we have a monorail. Now assemble the airship tower and the landing site. Interesting, look at that. The resources you have collected during the game are displayed on the upper right corner. The city expenses are shown below them. The city expenses display how many resources you lose when the turn track is full. The turn track, okay. So I think it might be these up here. And so we can only make so many decisions, I think, until we run out of turns or whatever, right? We also need to make, I think it was something else as well. I wonder what these down areas are. We need to make like a cross. Okay, so we lose 10 points, and every week that goes up, I guess. Yep, so that's every time we place something, it ticks along on the days. So now like it's up to 50. Interesting. Optimization reduces one faction's expenses by 10. We can choose these guys maybe. And now we need to, in addition to building cards, you may also get action cards. Playing them does not require a turn. Take 5 turns, okay. Maybe we put a factory here? That makes sense to me. Because it linked up to this factory. Okay. Let's do a ministry. This is a stores, so let's actually get stores going like this, I think. I want them to make the little squiggly symbol. I think at least. Let's start with this. Cool. In addition to building cards, you may also, okay. Another factory, I want, so let's just link it up here. I don't think that was a good move, but too late. And then ministries. We can do a factory here. Stores can do a zigzag. I feel like I'm doing this pretty inefficiently, but who knows? Yeah, definitely want to make some pretty cool designs and whatnot. But now, on my first attempt, I don't think it's really viable. We can't build in this direction, which is kind of annoying. We're stuck going this way. Whatever reason. I guess maybe we put another skyscraper here. An event happens in the city every 5th day out of 10. You have 3 ways to influence it. Any of your decisions will increase the influence of one of the factions. Which one will you support? Faction's influence on the city is indicated here. Influence determines what events will happen in the future. Okay. After the end of the game, influence allows you to unlock new buildings and options. Cool. So it seems like a lot of replayability. Who are we going to choose? I think we support the public, because I have a pretty cool idea. Not sure exactly how this game's going to turn out, but I think that the public is probably going to be the most important faction, right? Your decision affects your city expenses. Some may fall, others may rise. You may also get a new card in the deck. Your decisions may have hidden consequences. Faction influence plus 30, but it's minus 10 to the rest. Cool, so now the public faction is very, very cheap to maintain. Interesting. So let's build up some ministries then, I suppose. Suppose we should do one here. You can find upgrades and citizens on the map. Place a building on these tiles to interact with them. Okay. What is this? Data cube. Collect it to get an upgrade. Okay. Well, our only decision right now is ministries. Let's do that. Upgrade. Let's do the ministries here. Stores. Stores. I wanted to do stores around here, I think. So let's try and continue along with more ministries out this direction. Courthouse, skyscraper efficiency, ministry efficiency, estate, plus a bunch of elite faction points. TV towers, store efficiency, factory efficiency, human rights organization, factory efficiency, ministry efficiency. I think that's really a good one, so let's do that. Cool. And can we build over here yet? No, not yet. Let's do another ministry in this direction then. Architect, here you are. Great. It means that all systems are working properly. Citizens will turn to you with their problems. Help them as much as you can. Alright. Now I'm giving you a task. Build a robotics factory. Robotics factory. So we need to surround this. Let's do... There's a skyscraper here. Yeah, it's gonna take some getting used to be able to see how I should be building certain things. Like L shapes. I keep wanting to build L shapes in this area, but obviously they're not gonna work out that well. We should put a skyscraper here, or the ministries here. And I suppose that we just skyscraper up this area, I think. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So there's the weekly cost. Factories, I don't want to put factories around this. I'd rather sort of save these. So let's do stores out in this area, I suppose. Ministry here, that's gonna link it all up. Very nice. Let's do another ministry here, I suppose. And then I guess stores here. Cool. You will build the city until one of the resources drops to 0. When that happens, the game ends. After the end of the game, the city will disappear, but the story progress will be preserved. You will be able to build a new city. New buildings and options will be unlocked. Your expenses will now increase. Try to hold out as long as possible. Cool. Now what I'm thinking is, I wanted to do a factory here. An event happens in the city every 5th day. Okay, so let's see who we should support. Let's support the elite, I believe, right? Cool. Oh no, minus 210. So these two factions are in the red, which means that we need to do something about that. Here's also a T, which I kind of didn't want to make, but perhaps that's alright. Do a skyscraper here. So we have like 3 days and we need to get elite faction up like right now. So I suppose let's do stores here and then skyscraper here. Perfect, monorail. Oh, so building up the monorail, no matter what, we'll do business faction. Okay, things are starting to make more sense. Interesting. So we want a zigzag shape. let's do a zigzag shape here then, right? Perfect, look at that, cool. And then we lose the week, so I did that just in time. That's pretty cool. This game seems pretty fun, not gonna lie. We want to do a zigzag shape. And we also want more public factions, so let's do this. City expenses increase. Not amazing. Everything's in the red. The lowest thing is our public faction, so let's try and do stuff for that. So squares are going to be nice. Let's do a store here, and we'll try and do another store there. This is rather dire, I would say. And all we have access to right now is the ministries. So let's see if there's any designs that we can create. Currently not really. Ministries, but we want to try and do certain shapes. So maybe go like this and create a zigzag, right? No, we should do more squares. So we could literally do a square right here. Who should we support? I suppose the public. No, we should support the elite. Alright. Worrying. If we do a ministry here, I think that's a good move. Now we need the elite faction up. I have a feeling that we're not going to make it a whole lot further. In this first playthrough here. Planning, I think, can go a long ways. If you do it right, I think you can make it quite far. So we should probably expand out into the neighboring tiles for these. That'll give us like free stuff, right? What is like our lowest? We definitely need the elite faction. The elite faction is the skyscrapers. So maybe we do 2 buildings for skyscrapers and do that. And doing a zigzag, I think, would probably be best. Try and do a zigzag to this, and then more factions or factories would be really good as well. The business faction, There's so much to worry about, man. Ooh, look at this. This is huge. Watch this. I think this will be massive. Look at that. Bam. That's pretty good. At least it feels that way. Factories. Where do we want more factories? Is there factories out on the edges anywhere? We have one way over here. That's too far though. We could do this one. What's theirs? It's a square. So let's do factory here. We have 2 days, literally 2 days to try and get all of this done. And so it looks like we are going to end up failing. I think on our first attempt. Not failing. I don't think it's possible to really make it super far, but I don't think that we're going to be able to succeed here. Let's just do what we can. Game over. Cool. Well, I mean, I did what I could. Check out the summary. Oh, we don't get a summary? Okay, that's fine, I guess. Let's try one more attempt. Iris, before we start work, I want to discuss some things with you. I'm listening. The city is controlled by 4 factions: government, the elite, business, and the public. To build a perfect city, you need to maintain a balance between the factions, and the factions will reward you for helping to increase their influence. Be careful. If the resources of any faction drop below 0, you will be turned off and the city will have to be built from scratch. I'm sure you can handle it. Your first task is build a power plant. Place 4 buildings in a 2x2 shape. I'll contact you when your task is complete. See you later. Alright. So if we're going for the power plant, let's look at things. Okay, it's starting to make a bit more sense to me. What if we do a stores 4x4 here? Things of that nature. The 4x4 is for the public faction. Then again, we could monorail straight to here and do a 4x4 here with stores. I think that's going to be a smarter move. So let's start there. So stores 4x4 here. Factory monorail here. So let's do a factory here. And then one more factory here. Okay. And then a stores here. And then a stores here. You're doing great, Aris. The time has come to leave you alone with task. Remember, in a perfect city, every resident is important. If you want people to talk to you, don't ignore them. Information access. Information is power. Should access to information be limited? Freedom of information, tight control, paid access. Let's do freedom of information. Everyone has the right to receive and disseminate any information. Faction influence, +20 here, and we get +20 here. But the government faction doesn't like it. Business faction does. Interesting. Okay, let's first, I think, try and construct one of each of the little designs. I think that'll be pretty important. And perhaps we try and construct each of them out of the different possible designs, or like out of each of the different building types. I think that'll be important. So maybe we just try and extend like 4 ministries out in a random direction could be good. This tile is really annoying, but I think simply by placing a building here, we'll be able to access this spot. And that'll give us access to creating a zigzag out of the ministries, right? Or maybe we make like the plus symbol here. Okay. Let's simply do a skyscraper here. Yeah, that did give us access to what I wanted. So then let's do a ministry here. Okay, so that's constructing out in this direction. So we have a monorail. I kind of want to do another monorail here just because it links up and that seems pretty cool. And I think I'm going to do that with skyscrapers. But it would be probably pretty important to do. So we're doing the cross here. Let's do a zigzag like this, I suppose. And out of skyscrapers is probably going to be the smartest of moves. So now we have more factories. Where do we want factories to go is the question. Maybe another square here, like a perfect factory square is probably going to be a good idea, I would suppose. Freedom of information. The huge amount of information has made it easier for cyber criminals to hide their tracks. Faction influence plus criminality. I think this is the criminal faction. So now the government faction is getting quite upset. So we need to drastically increase the government faction's grasp on things. I think what's next is probably going to be another like cross symbol like that. It's probably the smartest of moves that we can make currently. But I do want to create another factory square like this, but perhaps we can do the cross symbol out of the stores here. So let's start that. And then let's do the ministry cross over here if we can. Interesting. What symbol was I going to make here? I've somewhat forgotten. Maybe a square out of skyscrapers is what I planned on doing. Get these factories out of the way. Yeah, the government faction, we really need to do a lot about that. So let's get another building like this. So then we have a cross. That's a lot of points for the government faction. That's pretty good. And so we need the elite faction and the government factions up as much as possible, I would say. Maybe we do a square here. Then again, you know what? We could do a cross symbol. Not the cross symbol, like a T shape here. That'd probably be a good one. So let's do a T shape like that. Old house. Citizens have filed a complaint about some dilapidated housing. The old house is on its last legs and may collapse if nothing is done. What should we do? Relocate the residents of the dilapidated building, hire a construction company for the repairs, demolish the building, and create a park area. Perhaps we do this one. It seems like we're struggling the most with the elite faction out of these three, so let's do them. The bulldozers are on their way. Faction influence plus 30. Cool. And then minus 20 to the public faction. That's fine though. Evens things out a bit. Cool, 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 cool. So then we can do a skyscraper here. That gives us a lot of points for the government faction. Very good. It seems like every time we set up a new shape, it increases the factions, like how much we need for each of them. That's kind of annoying. So now we have like the public versus the government, it feels like, by going back and forth between these T shapes and the power plants, the squares. Perhaps that's all fine in the end, we'll see. Let's get over here to this, and let's do, I'm kind of thinking another T shape, or should we do a zigzag? We can do a T shape out of stores. We can do a T shape out of stores here, I would say. And in doing a T shape there, that will allow us to do a zigzag shape here and talk to Amber here. There's all sorts of upgrades over here. Let's give this a look-sees, I would say. Perhaps what we do is try and create... We should do another T shape, I would say, here. Let's do ministries to here. Now let's see what this does. Upgrade, police station. Plus 6 to ministry efficiency, skyscraper efficiency, so we can do a plus 6 to each of the building's efficiencies. Perhaps we do a police station. Cool. So that's going to be a T-shape out of the ministries. And then maybe another T-shape here. Maybe we do a zigzag. Maybe do another monorail. We haven't built any monorails. T-shape ministry. And then monorail of stores out to here. Okay. That leaves us with potentially another square there. Square out of factories. We're creating a zigzag shape here. So what do we want to do with skyscrapers? That's the next question. Maybe we just do a long square or long monorail here out of skyscrapers. That could be good, I think. So let's put this down. Ooh, just a free bunch of points. What do we want? I think probably the government faction. Bunch of free points for that. Oh, a police station. Okay. Interesting. Oh. Oh. I think we were gonna do a monorail here, right? No, we were gonna do the zigzag shape here like that, and then I think a monorail in this direction? Maybe we do one here. That could be kind of interesting, because that'll be a monorail to there, and then a monorail to here. Maybe we simply do a T-shape out of that. Lots of thinking. I think it would be important to get this down, so let's place this. Upgrade. Police department, plus 15 to efficiency. Green wall, 2 park efficiency, add 2 parks to the deck. Add rare stores to the deck with a bank. Add rare factory to the deck. Interesting. Do we check out the parks? That seems kind of cool. A bank. Add rare store to the bank. Trading post, rare factory to the bank. It looks like we're gonna need some of the elite faction. So let's do, I guess, this one and hope that this is for the elite faction. A park. A 2x1. We lose points, but it seems okay. Plus 20 to all factions can be assembled into districts. Interesting. Oh, so we need to surround this with different buildings to unlock it. That's fine. So we want to do a bunch of ministries down to here and then a ministry here. So these are all going to be ministries. And then what should we do on the other side here? Maybe we do a factory plant here. That could be cool. Or even a park. What if we do a park like that? That could be pretty cool, I'd say. Let's do that. Get the green wall. Nice. 2 park efficiency, add 2 parks to the deck. Oh, a huge square. Interesting. Maybe we do this one here. That could be pretty cool. Yeah, let's do that. Interesting, interesting. So I want to do more parks there. This is all gonna be ministries. Maybe we do... Yeah, let's do a square out of factories. Let's do... Or well, do we really need to? What if we do this shape, a zigzag? So what if we do a zigzag with factories like that? I think that'll be pretty important. Protection racket. Small storekeepers are complaining about thugs who are extorting a monthly protection payment. Those who refuse are beaten and their store windows are smashed. Police funding, private security agencies, social programs for young people. Let's do police funding. Faction influence plus 20, cool. And we get some faction standing with the business faction, that's good. Cool, cool, cool. Makes things a bit cheaper, a bit easier to maintain. Interesting, interesting. Let's do a ministry here. And then... There was a shootout between the police and the bandits. Some of the people were wounded. -10 with the government agencies. That's not good. Not amazing, but perhaps that'll be okay. Let's throw this store down, get out of my way. Police station. I wanted to do this here, so maybe we put it down now. What are we thinking in terms of more shapes? Probably more elite faction stuff, so a zigzag is probably going to be in our best interest here. A zigzag out of factories? We have a lot of factories right now. What if we do a square here? What if we do 2 zigzags actually? Zigzag and then zigzag with factories. So let's put a factory here and then a factory here. Wow, look at that. This entire thing got built up very, very high, very quickly. That's pretty cool. Oh wow, look, you can zoom in pretty close. 2 police agencies. I feel like that's kind of a bit silly. Kind of built a lot up very quickly or very close to one another. I want the parks here, so we're gonna leave that zone. We need to do something with this. Let's do a ministry T-shape here, I would say. Factories are going in a zigzag shape out here. I wanted to do it like this, so let's do a factory here. We need to do something with skyscrapers. Did I have any planning with skyscrapers? Maybe we do a very simple T-shape out here. Or no, zigzag shape. We want to do zigzag shapes. Let's do a zigzag shape here then with skyscrapers. Protection racket. Dirty cops are in league with the thugs. Now the police too are shielding the racket. That's not good at all. So we're losing lots of points to the government faction. We need to do something about that. What else have we got going on? Oh man, we didn't create the cool linkage. I was really hoping that's what would end up happening. Seems like we're not that lucky though, but hey, maybe that's fine. Zigzag shape with factories. Let's put this here. What do we get? Plus 50. We could do this faction. Cool. And then a skyscraper. We were going to do skyscrapers here for a cool T-shape. Stores we were going to do as zigzags. Let's just put this down now. Amber, good afternoon. I'd like to make a request. Willing to accept a request. Education is very important nowadays, but there are a few universities in the city and there are no places left in them. It would be great to open a new university in the city. Gilded Youth, a young girl from a wealthy family, was driving a car under the influence and hit a man. She faces a prison sentence. Her parents are willing to make a generous donation to the city if you forget about this incident. Close the case. Keep out of it. Show trial. I think showing the trial is important. All the city's TV channels are invited to the trial. The unfortunate girl cries and repents for her crimes. She asks for leniency. Faction influence plus 20 here, but we lose influence with the elite faction. Interesting. Oh, whoa. This university came up on its own. Plus 10 to skyscraper efficiency. Okay. Let's do, I'm thinking zigzag shape. We're gonna do factory zigzag shape to here, right? And so perhaps another zigzag shape to here. Zigzags are for the elite faction. Yeah. Factory zigzag shape to there. So perhaps what we do is another zigzag shape to here. That makes sense to me. Let's do that. Okay. And then factories are going to zigzag all the way to over here. So let's get that moving along the way. TV tower. Plus store efficiency, plus 4 to factory efficiency. Interesting. I keep pressing R to rotate, but that is not what it is. I think that this could be a pretty good spot for it. We're going to have to build all the way around it, but I don't think that's the end of the world. Then again, maybe we can build out in this direction. We're going to do a square here, evidently. Perhaps not. Man, it quickly gets to a point where you need to do like a lot of different things. I really did not expect this from this game. It's really fun though. Like, makes you want to do it perfectly, but it's just so hard to do it perfectly. TV tower, I suppose here. Maybe this is like sort of why it would potentially be good to sort of leave areas open, like leave a 2x2, build around a 2x2, or build around a 2x1, because then these buildings would instantly get thrown up, right? Like right here, all I need to do is put this down and we would be like one step away from having this done, which would of course be pretty good. So I see the vision. Let's do this. Protection racket. There are fewer riots, as well as vacant beds in prisons. Good. So that's plus 20 to the government faction, which we really need. And then minus 10 to the public faction, which does kind of suck. Gilded Youth, show trial. All the cities' media followed the trial. Citizens appreciated the transparency of the case. Now any trial can be followed on a special channel. So ultimately we netted 10 government faction points, and that's it. Cool. So I'd say that's good. So what I want to do is actually place down a, what's it called here? The next skyscrapers that we have access to, I want it here, and that will complete the, what's it called, TV station. So over here, what we want to do is put a factory there. That's important. Upgrade. Courthouse. +4 skyscraper efficiency, ministry efficiency, and estate. We get a bunch of free points with these fellas. TV tower. Store efficiency and factory efficiency. Human rights organization. Factory efficiency, ministry efficiency. This one seems like the most important because these two factions are always like going at it. And if we get a bunch of efficiency from both of them, seems pretty good to me. Factory and stores. We don't really... I feel like the business faction's kind of the easiest so far to maintain. Yeah, let's do the human rights organization. That one seems the most important. Okay, so the elite faction's in the red. Government faction's getting there. Let's do something about the elite faction if we can then. We wanted to put this building here. Oh, expenses all went up across the board. That sucks. A human rights organization. Yeah, so we definitely need to... Oh, hey, look, we have a 2x1 here. Perhaps we can just put this building down and instantly it gets done. Cool. That's pretty cool. Elite faction, government faction. Yeah, I feel like we haven't even really built any, what's it called, stores in a while. We should probably do either a zigzag or a T-shape. We can do a T-shape if we put a stores here and a stores there. That's good. Oh, you can rotate these. I did not know that. Cool. It's probably a better idea to focus on ministries and stuff first. Yeah, see, if these would have been completed as full-on monorails, I think that would have been way better. Well, we didn't really need it for the business faction anyways, but I still think it would have been better. Let's do a ministry here, I suppose, then. Cool. All sorts of stuff. Gilded Youth, show trial, a spectacle for the public. The girl was found guilty. -10 to the elite faction's influence. Not amazing. Looks like we can do a zigzag here, which will help out. So let's do a factory here then. Bam. Bunch of points. So now we're back into the positive. However close it is. Skyscraper here. Cool. Bunch of points. Parks to beautify the city. The concrete jungle lacks any real nature. Parks are a great solution, but land has to be allocated for them. Demolish the ghettos for parks. Carefully fit parks into the city. The city does not need parks. Let's demolish the ghettos for parks. The authorities order that the ghettos be demolished and that parks be laid out on their sites. Faction influence +20, but we lose a bunch with the public faction. Interesting. Not amazing, but not terrible either, I don't think. Let's get back over here. So it seems like building to buildings that are like free, like these ones that are over here, that seems like the quickest way to get a lot of points that you might be needing. It's always smart. And then making sure that you're always doing shapes. And another major thing is do not rely on same color buildings that are 2x1s, bigger buildings, to get incorporated into the larger shapes that you can make, right? Like if we look here, we made a monorail out of these factories here, right? We did a bunch of factories, created a monorail, and that was cool, right? But these were all the red buildings, and then we came over here and tried to do a monorail with 4 blue buildings, but the middle 2 were like a 2x1, a bigger type of building, and so they're not incorporated into the grand shape, so we don't get the monorail, which kind of sucks, but not much we can do about it now. The government faction, the elite faction, and the public faction. So now that the public faction's sort of complaining quite a bit, let's try and do a shape for them. I think it's going to be important to do government faction, public faction. So we want to do squares and a T-shape. A square and a T-shape, and it looks like we can get away with doing a T-shape here out of stores, and then a square here out of factories. We can place a factory here, and that'll give us a bunch of points. and then a stores here. And then all we need is one stores here. We get the T shape. Let's do another factory here. And then all we need is one more factory for the square. Look at that, we're up to 400 points on that. Pretty good. So while we're waiting for a store, then what do we want to do? Should probably do another T shape if we can help it. This area over here also needs stuff. Oh, we could do a factory literally right here and that'll be good, but before we do that, so if that's there, then a T-shape out of ministries here would probably be good. So let's do that. Who's in the red now? Oof, a lot of factions are, so we don't need to focus on factories or squares at all. Oh, the park! No, I was supposed to have put the park here. That's fine. That sucks. I think I would have created another one of these, but what can you do at this point? Yeah, planning in this game is intense. What if we do a square here? Or a park here? It's plus 20 with all of them. Expenses goes up. Hurts quite a bit. Access to another skyscraper. We literally just need one squares here, or one stores here, and we gain a lot of stuff for the business faction. We'll also gain an entire additional T-shape. Cool. Skyscrapers. We either want to do a zigzag or a monorail. I think we're going to do a zigzag here. So let's put this here and get this upgrade. A shopping mall, human rights organization, cultural center. This one seems pretty good. Oh, we got 2 parks. Interesting. Maybe we try and slap these down somewhere. Ooh, we could... Oh, these are 1x1 parks. Interesting. So what if we try and create like a zigzag out of those? That'll give us elite faction points. Demolish the ghettos for parks. The ghetto residents do not want to leave their homes and move from the center to the outskirts. In some cases, the authorities have to use force. Minus 30 from the public faction. That's not great. Let's do this. Oh, cool. Cool. I like that a lot, actually. Stores simply here, and that should be good, right? That was a lot of good points. An aristocratic philanthropist offers to finance the zoo's construction. As a location, he chose a site where there is already a shopping mall. Combine the shopping mall with the zoo. Propose building a robot zoo. Demolish the shopping mall. Let's combine the shopping mall with the zoo. Ooh, these guys do not like that, the business faction. But we do gain elite faction points. That's good. So that becomes a bit cheaper. Now we really need to focus on building up the government faction quite a bit here. They like T-shapes. Should probably try and do a T-shape somewhere. Can we do a T-shape out of factories? I wonder what the upgrade for this would be. What if we do this here? It's like so much that I want to get done, but we just do not have adequate planning. This game's really, really fun. I'm like genuinely quite surprised at how fun this game is. I mean, might as well throw down this, but we're getting awfully close to needing government faction stuff. Is there anything that's like close to being done? Not really. A T-shape right here would be tremendous. Could also do a T-shape here in this area. I think that would go pretty well. Then again, we could try and do a T-shape like this in order to get this upgrade, whatever it is. I think that's what we'll try and do. Just throw this down, I suppose, get it out of the way. There's a lot of points for that faction. And we need to do another park. I think this zone here is pretty much stuck, so let's do that. No, we need this. But this zone here is stuck, I think, right? No, we can still do stuff with that as well. This zone's definitely stuck though, so let's do this here. Oh no, we have 2 days left and we need to get a lot of government points. I think we're looking just about doomed here. Let's try and do some quick thinking. What can we do to instantly get a lot of the necessary points? I don't think there's literally anything that we can do. Unless we can build a T-shape. Like right now. Data cubes would probably be pretty important as well. What's this? What are we trying to build? Cultural center. University. That's all for the elite faction. We don't have anything we're trying to build for the government faction currently. T-shape, T-shape, T-shape. Is there any T-shapes we can make? Nah, there's just... I don't think there's any shot we win this. But maybe we can get lucky with upgrades. Perhaps we try our luck at trying to do something with that. If we were going to do a T-shape, then I'd probably want to put the 2 parks here. Oh, free 50 points here. That allows us to make it 1 more. That's insane. The demolition of the ghettos led not only to the beautification of the city centers, small-time crooks disturbed by the government's actions left the city. Interesting, so plus 10 to each of these factions. That's good. Cool, so now we're getting pretty close to probably failing on the next one. We need to do some careful planning here. I wanted to do a T-shape, I think, here. I feel like I should always have a plan for these buildings. Any buildings that are coming up. Let's do a ministry here. That should give us a lot of points for that. Cool. Oh man, it's getting dicey, I would say. I feel like not building up districts is a way to surely fail, honestly. Let's do a skyscraper here. Then we want to do something with factories. We can build onto this area, probably a good idea. And then I kind of want to do a store monorail all the way down to here. So let's throw the store down first. And then let's do a square here. Well, monorail this way. I kind of want to do a full park monorail, or just something with the parks. Maybe do a skyscraper T-shape here. Man, okay, so this is like, I need to do more careful planning here. Already have a building here. Can also have ready access to that. What if we do this first off? Fixed fight. A boxing championship is taking place in the city. The fighter from the public faction loses comprehensively. You were asked to help him win, as many people had bet a lot of money on him. Do nothing. Offer doping? Jeez. Bribe the judges. Let's offer doping, I guess. So plus 30 faction, but minus 30 with everyone out, or 10 with each of them. But this faction, the public faction, is getting a bit out of hand, so let's do that. A zoo. Plus 24 with all factions, plus 3 to all resources for each park in the city. Oh, interesting. It can't be used for what's it called though. Districts, annoyingly. But perhaps we throw it. It's gonna do a T shape, I think, with this one, so perhaps not that. But 24 with each faction, I don't think's bad. T shape here. Perhaps we simply throw this here. Yeah, let's do it over here and get this upgrade, I think. So zigzag shape there. There's already a park coming this way, so let's do a park here, here. We get 50 points to whoever we want. We're 153 away from there, 100 away from here, a lot from here. And we're pretty close to the public faction, so let's do these guys. Get as close as we can. Luxury. Select building efficiency. Single-use card. Interesting. I think the ministry is pretty important, so let's choose them. Interesting, interesting. And then a zoo. Maybe we just toss it in over here. Maybe we choose something where we get a free upgrade though. Could probably be a good idea. Are we doing anything here? No, we were gonna do a T-shape, I think, with that. Mega Mall, skyscraper of greatness. Each time you build a helipad, you gain plus 20. Police department. Mega Mall. Trading post. Right now, what points do we want? We're like 60. Oh, we're gonna lose on this next turn. I guess let's choose the police department. Oh, that didn't give us any points right now. Yeah, we lose right here. There's absolutely no way. Oh, that kind of helped out a bit. Combine the shopping mall with the zoo. The new zoo has attracted many customers to the shopping mall. The project has paid for itself. Interesting. Either way, there's absolutely no way we make it any further right here. But I do want to do a monorail park. Bam. And we lose. We made it 7 weeks in. That feels pretty good though. Ah, so is this each week? I think each week that we've made it, at the end, it determines which faction had the most influence, right? Public influence, the elites. Early on we were focusing a lot on the government stuff. Then I felt like the elites were sort of taking over, like I needed to focus on them. Interesting. Either way, let's go and check in on the summary. Hopefully it shows us a summary this time. Architect, the project is definitely not going according to plan. We don't have enough money for life maintenance. Yes, I got the reports. There was a failure and I'm going to restart the program. Great, we're counting losses and waiting for news from you. I can't help but note your successes, Iris, but some program correction is necessary. Don't worry, you did well, but a perfect city should be perfect for everyone. You shouldn't favor someone else, or someone alone. We'll reboot you and try again. See you. Build the power plant, talk to the student. Okay, made it that far. Oh, that's all we did. That's fine though. Information of access, all sorts of interesting stuff that we did. Combine the shopping mall with the zoo, parks to beautify the city, gilded youth. Yeah, it feels like I always focus on the public more than anything. New card in the deck highway, cool. But I think that we're gonna go ahead and end today's episode here. This game's a whole lot of fun. I definitely recommend checking it out. It's only like $5 right now. I think permanently it's like less than $5. This game's really, really fun. And if you enjoyed the episode, be sure to leave a like. And if you want to follow along with the rest of this series, I do think I want to play this game quite a bit more. Maybe even try to unlock all the achievements with some time. But yeah, if you want to see that, then go ahead and subscribe. Peace.